Hi everybody, it's November 1915, Eastern Front, and it is snowing. The weather has gone south fast. As a result, the Germans couldn't even advance to touch up yet because it's half movement and their supply line can only move one, which basically caused this entire advance to go stop. And that's how far they can go. Their supply line can only go 3 hexes, so it is bad right now. So that's how far they can go. So they're just waiting for the train to slowly grow that way. Same way over here. They couldn't get into contact down here with the Russians. Here they're falling back because they got hit hard by the Russians. And the big result was down here, Odessa. Whoa, you're noticing something's a lot missing, right? The Germans, yes, those are Germans, I do believe. And there was a whole bunch of Austrians right here. And there was a few more Russians, but they're now gone. The Austrians did a major attack and rolled, well, what do you see there? 1. Which, along with being a major city and being entrenched, it was bad. So, yeah, they got obliterated. They killed themselves off in the attack, and the Russians mowed them down. But they did get an exchange out of one of the attacks and took some Russians with them, but, they took a whole bunch of themselves, too. So there was a whole bunch of Austrians that are no more. So, yeah. What else? Oh, I guess that's the Germans. There's the Germans right there. In the light. No, those are. Yep. Coming in. And over here in the Balkans, the Bulgarians decided to dig in, hold their little city right there, knowing that it's muddy on this end of the front, which causes the supply lines to shrink. So it's only 4 hexes now for the poor. 1, 2, 3, 4. They will be out of supply if something doesn't change. Well, the supply line will move up because they do have the city and the railhead, so they can move the railhead up. But they don't have enough strength right now, I don't think, to take that city because it's dug in. So we'll find out. They might have to truck in some troops here to take care. Oh yeah, forgot I gotta take that city yet. Other than that, I did transfer one unit out of each of these, and they're moving up down the rail line here to here. So there is some troops showing up over here, and yeah, the British, but the Ottomans are forced to maintain equal strength of what the Brits have in this box. They do not have to maintain, they have to maintain strength over here with the Russians, but, they can start pulling troops out of there to start forming up a line. So that is what's going on. Other than some drastic poor attack there in Odessa, that's pretty much it. That was all the entire Central Power turn. Once again, Mother Nature is causing havoc on the Eastern Front. Boy, sounds historical, doesn't it? I guess so. All right, we'll be back. All right, everybody, it's November 1915, Allies' turn. And over here, we know that the Russians have dug in outside of St. Petersburg. The Russians have dug in outside of Moscow. They're setting up their defense because winter is the one thing that allows the Russians to rebuild. That's what they're doing. And outside of Kursk, that sounds familiar. Where have I heard that one? Outside of Krakow. They've dug up in again here. Now over here, the Russians have done something interesting. They're attacking. Well, they're trying to attack. The Austrians had fallen back over here. Ooh, there's some Germans. And kind of just pushed the line back. They're sort of creating a line up over here. They're still dug in over here at Odessa, trying to stay intact over there. Now, over here, the Allies, they did have one attack over here. They attacked the Turks here and got a defender demoralized and pushed them back. I think they did take, yeah, they did take the city. There's a city underneath there. They did take that. Or a small village, or whatever you want to call it. They still have that one left. They moved us troops over here, took that city, and garrisoned there. And then they sally forth over here and are marching down the road. Well, they don't really have the rail line. The rail line is just kind of crawling along over here. And, gee, let's see. They crossed the river over here. And so they don't have to worry about attacking across the river because, gee, the supply line is now works in their favor. So they can cross the river and maybe do an attack on the Bulgarians there. The Bulgarians are trying to rebuild their forces that got slaughtered in the opening salvos of their little war. And it's like, welcome to the party, pal. You're not liking the war. So that's pretty much everything that's happened for the Allied turn. I think next month we might see Americans showing up. Now, the interesting thing about the Americans, they're supposed to go into France. But there is no France anymore because Paris has fallen. So the Americans are kind of laissez-faire. They can go anywhere they want, I think. They're supposed to go into France, but they've been released from that thing. So we'll be seeing American infantrymen showing up someplace. Wonder where. Because now the Black Sea is open, so the sea lane, so they can start moving troops over to here. Once they get into here, like land troops in Sevastopol, they are no longer have to worry about sea movement for supply lines, so they can just start pumping troops into Russia using their supply network. So these crossroads over here are very important to the Allies' offensive. So we may be seeing Americans in Russia a little early. Yeah, I don't think they showed up until, 1920, somewhere in there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll be back.